We're back, folks. So, this boss really, you just have to stay on your toes, stay away from the cracks, and don't fall into his fingers because he will throw you and do some damage. Now, the only thing left in this dungeon that's going to pose a threat is you just getting stumped because you cannot figure out what to do because the dungeon doesn't really lead to the boss door. So you're going to need the key, and you just have to kill these enemies in a certain order, and that's all you have to do. Now, I know that there's going to be, if you look to the right, there are tiles that are kind of scratchy, but, you know, I have to use these cheats, so there's nothing that can be done. But here are some boos, and you're going to find many Mario enemies. If you notice, there were also Shy Guys as well. So, piranha plants, Goombas, that sort of thing. So I'm trying to think of what else really happened when I had this game, because it was just at a certain point where Nintendo, mainly, you know, the late 90s, Nintendo was kind of in a weird space just because the 3D was hip, but the PlayStation just trampled the Nintendo 64. And even if the games were good, the aspect of it of people actually knowing about these games was very minimal. And so we were finding things like Need for Speed and Tomb Raider and Final Fantasy VII outselling Smash Brothers and Donkey Kong and these sorts of things. It was different from how it was in the 90s. So that, you know, when I was in school, this was something I saw, and I definitely remember, well, I don't remember thoroughly, but I do know that the Nintendo 64 was not that much of a trending topic. And so, but to be fair, there weren't a super ton of games that were just necessary to play. But then, you know, really, me going into my 20s, or, you know, me going into my 30s, there's not a ton of games for the PlayStation that I'm sitting here saying that I have to have. The only real genre or the PlayStation 1 in that area would be role-playing games, because there's Parasite Eve. I think, well, that's not a role-playing game, but maybe, I don't know. There was Chrono Cross and the 3 Final Fantasy games, and just Squaresoft went nuts with the PlayStation. They really did. And it was just the perfect, I mean, I would probably say, as far as role-playing games are concerned, that's probably one of the best game machines out there. And a role-playing game is simply, all it is a, I'm thinking I might make this 2 parts, so you're not going to know when I split this, but I'm going to split this into a couple parts just because it's going to be 14 minutes otherwise. But yeah, so the main thing that gets me with role-playing games, my favorite part of the game is not the fighting, but I like when you go to the towns and you hear what all the people have to say. Because, I mean, the story is what makes a role-playing game. But it's one of the main reasons why Zelda itself will never be a role-playing game, is because there's no characters. There's no one else that you can care about besides Link. And, you know, just like Chrono Trigger, you know, you had Chrono, Marle, Lucca, Frog, but that was also designed by Toriyama and the creator of Final Fantasy. So, these were some good ones. But Yeah, I mean, I'm certain a lot of you have noticed that video games are. I don't know. I don't want to talk about that. Let's focus on what Zelda really did. And I'm trying to think. I remember Mario Party from the Nintendo 64, and when I played this game, I just I I remember I would actually play with 50 turns. You know, most people say that they cannot stand to do more than 20 turns, but when I was 9, 10, that's what I was doing. And I would go to the Yoshi stage, and I would just keep playing it. I played it so many times that I'm not saying that I'm a beast at Mario Party, but those are something that's integrated in my brain. It's just like I know all of those many games, just like I know every stage in Smash Brothers Melee. And I don't know why it is, but I remember them. And so, essentially, you know, most people think, oh, I'm rusty at this game. Well, that doesn't happen. If someone were to come over to my house right now and say, let's play Smash Brothers, I would probably do rather well.